Okay, so first dates, right?
Yeah.
They can be exciting, nerve-wracking,
Oh, yeah.
and like just all over the place.
Yeah,
A big part of that is the conversation.
for sure.
So for this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be checking out
Yes.
the Relationship Deep Dive podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to help you navigate those first date conversations.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to be breaking down their expert advice.
Okay.
It basically boils down to a really solid framework, knowing what to ask and what to avoid.
I love that they did both sides of that.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, we've all been on those dates where the conversation just falls flat.
Oh, totally. Been there.
But we're here to change that.
Yes.
And they had some seriously smart go-to questions.
For sure.
One of my favorites is, what do you like to do in your free time?
It's a classic.
It seems so simple,
Right.
but there's a lot of psychology behind
Yeah.
why that works so well.
Well, it's all about those open-ended questions.
Oh.
You're not leading the witness.
Yeah.
You're giving the other person the space to really share what excites them.
Yeah, for sure.
And it all paints a picture of who they are, their values, their personality.
And you can find out if you have stuff in common.
Yes.
Like imagine if you both like hiking or live music.
Exactly. That instant connection.
Common ground. Now, another one they suggested was, what's something you're passionate about?
Oh, I love that one.
This one's really good because it goes beyond just hobbies.
Right.
It's like what lights someone up.
Yeah, that spark, what gives them energy and purpose.
Don't you want to be with someone who
Right.
has those things?
Exactly. Someone who gets excited about things and has goals.
Absolutely, it's infectious.
It is.
Okay, so let's talk about travel.
Okay.
The hosts of Relationship Deep Dive were all about using travel questions
Yes.
to get those good conversations going.
It's a good one.
They suggested, have you traveled anywhere interesting recently? Or what's your dream travel destination?
I like that.
What's interesting about those is they go beyond just ticking places off a map.
It's true. It's about more than just the destination.
It's their sense of adventure, cultural curiosity,
Yes.
even their worldview.
Right. Are they dreaming of far-off lands, or are they more of a staycation person?
Totally.
You can learn a lot about how they approach life.
Yeah. And speaking of things people find fascinating, the next tip
Yeah.
was about those personal favorites.
Okay.
What kind of movies do you enjoy?
Okay.
Or what's a book you couldn't put down?
Mm-hmm.
They seem surface level,
Sure.
but you can tell a lot about somebody by
Yeah.
their answers.
Think about it. Those books and movies reflect us.
Totally.
They offer a glimpse into the themes and ideas that we find meaningful.
If you share a love for a specific genre,
Oh, yeah.
a director or
Yeah.
author, that's a fantastic conversation starter.
Totally.
You can even dive deep into why you connect with those stories.
Absolutely. You're on the same wavelength.
And if you don't have the same taste,
Yeah.
that could be an opportunity for growth.
Exactly. Maybe they'll introduce you to something new that you end up loving.
Exactly.
It's all about being curious and open-minded.
Okay, this last one's a classic. If you could have dinner with any person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This isn't about specific taste.
Right.
It's about who they find inspiring,
Yes.
fascinating,
Mhm.
intellectually stimulating.
It's a window into their values.
For sure.
Are they going to pick someone known for their humor or brilliance or activism?
Right?
It's really revealing.
Plus, it's just fun to think about.
It is.
It can lead to interesting conversations.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about the questions that can open up a conversation
Yeah.
and reveal these hidden depths.
Yes.
What about the other side of the coin?
Uh-oh.
What about the questions you should avoid?
The conversation killers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that can sabotage your chance of building a connection.
We've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
On the receiving end of a question that makes you cringe.
Oh.
So let's dive into those conversation killers
Let's do it.
and figure out why they can be so bad.
Okay.
The first one they said to avoid was, why are you still single?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a loaded one.
This is so judgmental.
It is. You're putting them on the defensive.
It's like you're implying that there's something wrong with them.
Right, like they're single because they're flawed.
Yeah.
Not exactly a recipe for a fun date.
Not the vibe.
No.
And on the topic of touchy subjects,
Yeah.
they advise against dwelling on past relationships.
Oh, for sure.
Like, how did your last relationship end?
Yeah, you're on a first date. It's a fresh start.
Right.
And you're bringing up old baggage.
Yeah, exactly.
You could just bring up negativity and comparison.
Yeah, you're shifting the focus away
Yeah.
from the present.
Exactly.
It's like, tell me about your past heartbreak. Right.
before we even get to know each
You're
other.
there to connect with the person in front of you,
Right.
not dwell on their past.
No, another one was questions too focused on money.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
What?
what do you
Whoa.
do and how much do you make?
It feels icky.
It's transactional.
It is.
Like, you're more interested in their bank account totally than who they are as a person.
Right. They might feel like they're being evaluated for their financial worth.
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool.
Okay, I think we've all been guilty of this one. Asking those big life questions way too soon.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you want kids someday? Or, how soon are you looking to get married?
Too much pressure.
Way too soon.
Way too soon.
It's understandable why it comes up,
Yeah.
but on a first date, it can feel overwhelming
Yes.
and presumptuous.
Like you're skipping ahead to the end of the book.
Yeah.
You haven't even finished the first page.
The Relationship Deep Dive hosts said those conversations will come up naturally
They will.
when it's time. It's exact.
And finally,
Hmm.
they said to avoid judgmental inquiries.
So-
Things like, why do you like that? Or don't you think that's a waste of time?
Oh, those are instant mood killers.
Yeah.
Judgment and criticism create walls,
Right.
while curiosity and acceptance builds bridges.
Be open-minded
Yes.
and respectful of their interests,
Yes.
even if you don't share them.
Right. It's about creating a safe space for conversation.
Free from judgment or negativity.
For sure.
So to sum up this first part of our deep dive,
Okay?
first dates should be fun,
Yeah.
lighthearted, and focused on getting to know each other.
In the present moment.
Yes. The right questions can spark a connection,
Mhm.
and the wrong ones create unnecessary barriers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started.
Ooh.
In the next part, we're going to explore how to take those conversations to the next level
Oh.
by becoming a better listener
Awesome.
and fostering that all-important sense of genuine connection.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Welcome back to our deep dive on first date conversations.
We covered some good questions to get things flowing and some
Mhm.
things to avoid,
Right.
but acing that first date goes beyond just the words.
It does.
It's about that genuine interest
Yes.
that makes the other person feel heard.
For sure. The Relationship Deep Dive hosts were big on this. Good listening is as important as good questions.
That makes total sense. If you're just waiting for your turn to talk or
Right.
thinking of your next witty response,
Yeah.
are you really present?
Exactly. It's about active listening, not just hearing the words,
Yeah.
but tuning into the nuances, the emotions behind them.
It's the difference between reading a text message
Oh, yeah.
and having a heart-to-heart.
Totally.
So how do we become better listeners?
Right.
Especially on a first date.
Well, the Relationship Deep Dive folks had some tips.
Okay.
First, put the phone away.
I know, it sounds obvious.
I know, right?
But it's so easy to get distracted.
It is. Even a glance at your phone can send the wrong message.
I'm so guilty of that.
Me too.
Sometimes I gotta remind myself to be present and put it on silent.
Along those same lines, eye contact is important.
Shows you're engaged.
Yes.
Interested.
Mm-hmm.
And want to hear what they have to say.
It's like a window into your attention.
Right.
And don't underestimate those nonverbal cues, like nodding and tilting your head.
It's like saying, I'm with you, without interrupting.
Exactly.
And when you do respond,
Mhm.
make sure it's relevant to what they've said, not just a jump into your own story.
You're building on each other's thoughts.
That creates a real spark.
Right. Think about it. It's a dance, not a solo.
Now, what if you have nothing in common?
Oh, good question.
Is the date doomed?
That's where curiosity comes in. Even if you're not into their passions,
Right.
you can still be curious about what makes them tick.
Maybe they love underwater basket weaving,
Okay.
and you're more of a rock climber.
Sure.
You can still ask questions and try to see the world through their eyes.
Yeah, you might be surprised by what you learn. You might discover a new appreciation for something,
Or at least you're showing you're open-minded.
which is attractive.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes those unexpected connections are the strongest.
Right.
You might not bond over stamps, but you might find common ground over humor or something.
Totally.
It's about being open to the possibility of connection.
Even if it looks different than you imagined.
Exactly.
So to wrap up this part,
Okay.
it's not about finding a carbon copy of yourself.
No.
It's about connecting with another human being.
Yes. Learning from their experiences and expanding your perspective.
And that brings us to that feeling of genuine connection.
Yeah.
It's not about checking boxes or finding someone with the exact same interests.
Right.
It's that spark
Right.
that makes you want to keep talking,
It's that intangible something that draws you to them.
right?
You feel like you could talk for hours and still only scratch the surface.
Totally. And you know what I think plays a big part in that?
What?
humor.
Oh, absolutely.
It can break the ice,
Big time.
create a sense of camaraderie.
Like you're both in on the joke.
Exactly. It's like you're saying, I don't take myself too seriously.
Right. And I'm here to have fun?
Yes,
Yeah.
but it has to be genuine,
Oh, for sure.
not forced.
No canned jokes.
Right.
Be yourself.
It's about finding those moments where you just laugh together.
That natural banter.
It's being present enough to find the humor,
And being able to laugh at yourself when things get awkward.
which they always do on a first date.
Oh, yeah.
Now remember, humor is subjective.
So true. What makes you laugh might not land for someone else.
Yeah,
That's okay.
exactly.
It's about finding that common ground where you can both be yourselves and laugh.
Don't be afraid to embrace the awkwardness.
Oh, yeah. Those are the best moments.
Laugh at yourself when you trip or spill something.
Exactly.
It shows you're comfortable and don't take things too seriously.
It makes you more relatable.
So for this deep dive into first dates,
Yeah.
go in with curiosity, a willingness to listen, and a readiness to laugh.
I love that.
Be yourself, embrace the humor,
Mm-hmm.
and remember, a first date is just a first step.
Exactly. A chance to connect and see if there's something there.
Who knows? It could be the start of something amazing.
You never know. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into first date conversations. We hope you learned something and feel more confident about navigating those first encounters.
And remember, the most important tip is to relax, have fun, and be yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself.